ensures that when there's a medical emergency, it's Nebraska families who decide what to do, not the government. This vote against 434 and for 439 makes it so our Nebraska doctors can treat every patient. The government put this ban in place, stripping Nebraska families of their freedom, but you can end it with 2 votes. The first against 434, and then vote for 439. Paid for by Protect Our Rights.
Hi, I'm State Senator Bo Ballard. I was born and raised right here in Lancaster County. I understand the value of hard work by being involved in our family business. I built my own company, creating jobs right here in our community. Nebraska families and business owners need lower taxes, more affordable health care, and a great education system. That is why I fought for the largest tax cut in Nebraska history, reduce the cost of health care, and help pass the biggest investment in our public schools. I'm Senator Bo Ballard, and I humbly ask for your vote on November 5th, paid for by Ballard for Nebraska.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Kawasaki dealership. Score big on Kawasaki's all-new Ridge lineup. The Ridge XR, the Ridge HVAC, and the Ridge Limited, all built to take on your day with a full factory cab, including heat and AC. Stop by Indian Motorcycle of Lincoln today and rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of November. Elway Power Sports of Lincoln at 27th and I-80.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring a friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month. Hurry, this deal ends soon. See Home Club for details.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Midwest Bank is hosting our annual Thanksgiving food drive, partnering with local Lincoln schools to provide Thanksgiving dinners to families in need. We hope to provide meals for more than 120 families in our community this year. You can help by dropping off a donation at either Midwest Bank location, 7001 Pioneers Boulevard or 2655 Jamie Lane. Any donation is greatly appreciated. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Greens at 402-467-4444 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-467-4444.
Before you start blowing and raking leaves this season, make sure you know where they go. Yard waste is not garbage, especially in Lincoln, where it's converted into earth fuel compost. All grass clippings and leaves must be separated from household trash from April 1st until November 30th each year. It's the law. Yard waste belongs in a paper lawn bag, or you may request a bin from your trash hauler who will pick it up for a small fee. Remember, no trash or branches are allowed in yard waste. Get the details at lincoln.ne.gov/recycle.
Fall is officially here, and Brown Shoe Fit has just the right style and comfort your feet deserve. Stop in and see a wide selection of all your favorite brands, including Brooks, Hoka, Echo, Keen, and many more. At Brown Shoe Fit, they'll take the time to measure your feet to ensure a proper fit. They also have the largest selection of Uggs and Hokas in Lincoln. Brown Shoe Fit, 6060Q in Lincoln.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome in to the Husker Football Hour with Tom Shatel. You got Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. And before we bring in Tom Shatel on the Allo VIP line, where they understand the importance of exceptional service with a local heart, be sure to join in Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo, Channel 961 if you want to put a face to the voice. And, of course, the Sargent Heyman text line, 402-464-5685. You guys have been active, talking a lot of Husker football today, so be sure to tune in and give your thoughts. Let's go ahead and bring him in. Tom Shatel of the Omaha World Herald, how's it going on a dreary Monday night so far?
Yeah, we didn't get rain for about a year. Now it's all about every night, but we'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, it happened for some people after the harvest, but nonetheless, we needed it, like you said. Tom Shatel, this game is obviously frustrating, probably not only from the fans' perspective, but you're kind of hearing it in the press conferences. Obviously, the coaches have stated, Matt Rule today saying, I'm frustrated, you're frustrated. But essentially saying he understands it. But before we dive into the details, what was kind of that atmosphere of that UCLA game heading into it? You know, we're talking about rain, but there was a chance to go there and go ahead and go bowling and finally get the monkey off the back. What was that atmosphere like at the stadium?
Yeah, I felt like before the game it was good. I felt like everybody knew what was at stake, and coming off Ohio State, they had a little momentum in terms of how they played. And then UCLA won toss, took the ball, which is fine, and they kept making first downs. And they got all the way down there, and they had to settle for a field goal. So you think, okay, well, that wasn't the best thing, but sometimes first drive is kind of scripted. It goes well because everybody knows what they're going to do, and the defense isn't really ready for it yet. And so you figured, okay, well, it's just one of those things. Then Nebraska went 3 and out. UCLA did the same thing again, only this time they got a touchdown, and it felt like it was going to be a long day. And then the atmosphere, it's not just the players who say, here we go again. It's the fans say that too. They're conditioned to, oh God, here we go again. not this. And, it just, even though it was still 13-7, it made it feel like Nebraska was really they were obviously within range of getting the lead. It just didn't feel like they were really in the game all day. It felt like they were always coming from behind, always going uphill, always trying to scratch and claw for everything that they had. It goes going. UCLA was a step ahead on offensive play calling, the defense, the way they were going after Riola, the way Nebraska was not really adjusting. It was just a long, hard day for everybody.
Yeah, and, the offense certainly struggled to adjust there. And even at the very end, as much as the conversation was about the refs versus Ohio State, the refs were giving Nebraska some chances. UCLA was giving Nebraska some chances, I should say, with some key penalties. UCLA would finish with 9 penalties in that game for 62 yards, a lot of them at crucial times. The defense felt like they shut down the hatches. The offense finally started getting a bit of spark of life there at the end. Were you having a thought like this team's going to be able to pull off and get that comeback? Would have been the first big one since all the way back in 2011, I believe. Did it feel like Nebraska was able to pull it off at any point?
I would say when they got down to the 5-yard line, I believe it was, I can't remember if it was the 6-minute drive. There was a 6-minute drive in the fourth quarter that took way too long.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember that this was it, but there was they were down, I guess it was 27-14, I think. And they got to the 5-yard line, and they had been running the ball 4 yards a pop, 5 yards, first down at the 10, 5-yard run to the 5, second and goal from the 5. I thought, okay, if they just stick with this running thing, I think they can at least get 3, and they should get 6. And then, there's just something about a running game when it starts working, the mood of the whole stadium can change when you start pounding somebody, and the opponent's mood changes, and they're thinking, oh gosh, this is gonna, it's going against us now, and for whatever reason, they just went away from running the ball. They threw 3 straight passes, including after a timeout before 4th down, 4th and goal at the 5. Let's throw another pass, and it turned into a 10-yard sack. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? And it felt like it was malpractice at some point. It's just like this going away from what works is not Nebraska football. And we've certainly seen it over the years with our share of guys, Sean Watson and so on and so forth. But that was, to me, that took the life out of the comeback. Yes, they came back and scored. Yes, and then they missed the extra point. But you felt like, okay, maybe. But then Rilo was out. Here comes Ken Harburg. With the big finish, the comeback kid, and they ended up with 2 minutes left with like on their own 19, I think, and it was just like, and he, they're going to have to pass, and they hadn't been able to pass all game on those guys much, and it just felt like a real, again, uphill. Everything was uphill that day. So, to answer your question, I was thinking, okay, this would be a great story, but I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't too far off. I'm that same way on that. Really, on that 4th and 5 that we ended up trying to go for it. I'm with you when it comes to running the ball. It just feels like we get away from what that success is, especially with the way they're able to get pressure on. I just thought, again, trying to get those fade passes, it's great if you got the quarterback and that wide receiver connection where you can quick get those just soft touches right off the snap. But we just hadn't seen the guys really get any separation all day. And I'll ask you this, I think you kind of touched on it, but last week it was, everyone was complaining about the amount of screen passes. This game, we really didn't see a lot of that. But what'd you think of the game plan for the offense and Satterfield tweaking some of the things, if you noticed anything really from last week to this week?
Yeah, I week to week, I never know what they're going to do. And I don't know what the game plan is every week. I can't see what it is. And I'm certainly not an offensive genius or, I'm not going to be the kind of guy who can drop X's and O's. Mm-hmm. But I know a good offense when I see one. I know one that I know what it looks like when it's firing on all cylinders, and that when a good play design. And I don't know what it's supposed to do every week. There's no identity. There's no even though the head coach has said he wants to be physical and wants to run the ball in the Big Ten, especially at this time of year. Well, we don't. Sometimes there's a disconnect from what he says he wants and what we see on the field. Problem is, and I wrote this before the season started, that when you've got Dylan Raiola, you're not going to run the ball. You're not going to be a dominant running team. Especially with an offensive coordinator who loves to throw it. So I said in August, the run the damn ball crowd is going to be in for a long year because they've got this kid who could throw. And then we saw the first couple of games, and they had these receivers who were tall, and they got position. They got open. They made plays. You could throw them a jump ball, and they'd go get it. The first 4 or 5 games, I looked this up today, scored 20 touchdowns on offense. And receivers had like 9, I think, or 10, and it was something like that. Last 4 games, I think they've scored 7 touchdowns, and the receivers have scored 1, or they won through the air. So something along the way defenses were playing him, and it just, maybe it's partially Raiola learning. Maybe the receivers are not getting open. It just seems like the receivers have been tight end Thomas Fidone, who's been really good, and Corey Barney. Those have basically been the two people who are out there catching passes. So I don't know what happened, but what I've seen is 3 running backs, and I know Ramir has been hurt, but the 3 running backs who were all Big Ten type of backs, and when that offensive line gets a chance to go downhill and run block a few times in a row, they pick up momentum, get a little steam going, and they're okay. So it's tough because they don't have all the pieces yet on offense, and the quarterback's learning. I think part of being an offensive coordinator, play caller, is learning. What is your strength, and develop that strength during the week of practice, and then use it in the game. Make the game simple for the players. Make it very basic at its core. Give them things that they can do, and then go do them until the other guy stops them. That's college football. And look what Eric Bieniemy did on Saturday. Had his quarterback run out there the first series, and he gave him some real quick, easy throws to get in a rhythm. And that's kind of what you need to do with Raiola as well. I just don't know what they're going to do week to week. And I just wonder, I wrote this for tomorrow that they need to change the play calling. It's something that offense is in a bad spot, and I don't see it getting any better if they keep doing the same things. I don't see them winning the game if they keep doing the same things. I really think they'll have a hard time with this offense. I said, I'm not sure Glenn Thomas is a play calling guru, but he'd be somebody different. Just a different look, a different voice, a different feel right now. And he was an offensive coordinator at Arizona State and also UNLV, where they had 1,000-yard rushers. Now, I don't know when the last time, Nebraska hadn't had that very often. So there's a guy who is a quarterback. His background was quarterbacks, but he knows when he's got a running back to use him. So I think for the last 3 games, why not have him call the plays? Just see what happens. I know what's going to happen if they keep doing what they're doing. Today Rule, I give him credit. He talks on the bye week. He says a lot of stuff, and a lot of coaches would hide for a week and try to. Rule, he's like the Viking who jumps into the lion's pit with a sword. It just says, "All right, bring it on. Here I come," and he just goes after it. And he said he was going to consider all options. I mean, they're not going to fire anybody. If they just fire anybody, it's already happened. It would happen the day after the game, usually. So I don't think anybody's going to get fired. But I think he said he's going to bring some people in to look at the program, which I thought, well, I guess that's good because isn't that what the guys on your staff are for? But sometimes you need a look. You do need a different look, and so I don't have a problem with it.
I want to ask you. Go ahead, real quick.
Just real quick. I was going to say, wasn't Dana Holgerson in line to come join the staff last January? I wonder if he's coming into town to maybe watch some film.
Well, I wanted to ask you this before we wrap up here, as we only got a couple minutes left before we throw it to our first break. Hearing that, is that really anything new? Or I feel like that's something that programs that do on the regular, even if, they're winning at times, just, having an outside perspective come in and just check out practice to kind of let them know what they see and think.
No, you're absolutely right. It's something everybody does. And I think it's a good idea now because we're not seeing a lot of new wrinkles. We're not seeing, and frankly, I'll be honest, a lot of us get too caught up in X's and O's. The offensive coordinator has always been the low-hanging fruit of Nebraska fans and media. Things are bad, let's fire the offensive coordinator. I mean, the bigger issue with this team is that they don't always come to play. And why is that? This is year 2. The culture is supposed to be in place and it's better. But they go from, the Colorado game, then Illinois, they were kind of there and they fought back. And then Rutgers, they played well. And Indiana was coming off a bye week, was a real stinker. And Ohio State, they're back. Now they're gone again. It's nuts. I mean, so to me, that's almost a bigger issue than the offensive, the play calling. But something's got to change on offense, and you can't change the personnel. They are who they are. You got to try to do something different there. But it would be very helpful if they could show up the last 3 games and like they did at Ohio State.
Absolutely. Joined with Tom Shatel of the Omaha World Herald. Don't go anywhere. We got a couple more segments left right here on Ticket Weeknights.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Fall is here, which means it's time to dive into a new lineup of autumn flavors at Wings and Rings, your home away from home during football season. Their all-star lineup of wing sauces is adding 2 new impact players, curry garlic and pumpkin chili. Need something delicious before kickoff? How about starting your meal with their brand new chorizo nachos and loaded fries? You better act fast. These new tastes of autumn won't be here long. So make the trip to one of their 2 Lincoln locations today on O Street or Village Lane.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Hey everybody, this is Chris Beecham from Brand Lincoln Podcast and Perch Merch, your go-to in Lincoln for printing and promotional needs. Speaking of that, we are running a huge hoodie sale now through November 30th to save you big money on great brands. 20% off everything from Nike and Bella Canvas pullovers to Gildan and Port & Company sweatshirts and district fleeces. Get yours for your group or organization today by calling us at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
You have a big investment in your farming operation. Let Landmark Implement help you get the most out of your equipment by investing in pre-season service inspections. Let our John Deere trained and certified technicians provide you with a complete list of repairs that will help your equipment perform better and deliver maximum performance. At Landmark, buy 3 equipment service inspections and get the 4th free. Contact your local Landmark service manager for details and experience the Landmark difference.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Hey guys, it's your girl Jordan from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. As you gear up for game day this season, don't forget the MVP in your life. Whether it's a ruby bracelet to show off her team spirit or a timeless Heartland diamond that shines from across the room, we've got the perfect play. Our experts at Sartor Heyman are here to help you make the winning move. Until next time, happy shopping, guys.
Come enjoy a show of the Midwest's best boxers on Saturday, November 9th with Vertex at the Complex, the former location of Champions Fun Center. Fights are scheduled throughout the night, and if you haven't been before, now's the perfect time to go with Nebraska football on a bye week. Doors open at 6 p.m. with first bout at 7 p.m. Learn more about the boxers and buy tickets at thecomplexlincoln.com.
Before you start blowing and raking leaves this season, make sure you know where they go. Yard waste is not garbage, especially in Lincoln, where it's converted into earth fuel compost. All grass clippings and leaves must be separated from household trash from April 1st until November 30th each year. It's the law. Yard waste belongs in a paper lawn bag, or you may request a bin from your trash hauler who will pick it up for a small fee.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through November 12th is $2 off all crackers, $2 off on grind, $3 off on salami, and buy one, get one free on stew beef. Limit of 2. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Highway 2 in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Across Nebraska, voters will have the chance to end the current government abortion ban. The government shouldn't be making decisions for families' health care, but right now they are. Ending the ban takes 2 votes. A vote against 434, the first initiative, and then a vote for 439, the last initiative. It's only this combination that will finally get the government out of the personal medical decisions of Nebraska families. Voting against 434 and for 439 ensures that when there's a medical emergency, it's Nebraska families who decide what to do, not the government. This vote against 434 and for 439 makes it so our Nebraska doctors can treat every patient. The government put this ban in place, stripping Nebraska families of their freedom, but you can end it with 2 votes. The first against 434, and then vote for 439. Paid for by Protect Our Rights.
Back to The Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in with the Husker Football Hour with Tom Shatel of the Omaha World Herald. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. As always, come Ticket weeknights. If you guys want to join in, 402-464-5685. I hear from Mr. Cup there, feeling like they're too focused on using Raiola in the passing game when they can run the ball. You can also use the streams, Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo, channel 961. Let's go ahead and bring him in on the Allo VIP line. We got Tom Shatel of the Omaha World Herald. And trying to still figure out, at least for me, where this Nebraska program is and if the here we go again may come to fruition where we just lose out in November. But trying to understand this team heading into this game, I think a lot of people were surprised by UCLA. They heard Deshaun Foster at Big Ten Media Days. But then when you look at the rest of his staff, you realize that's a solid coaching staff he put together, and they were starting to get some momentum. And trying to figure out how bad of a loss this is for Nebraska. Yes, they need to win just to go bowling. But how good was UCLA in your eyes heading into this thing? Like, was this a team that you were expecting to really push Nebraska?
It's a team that had a really tough schedule, and a team that is getting has got pieces from last year. Now, that's why they gave the job to Deshaun Foster. They wanted to keep one of those kids there and into the portal. Whereas they'd hired PJ Fleck or maybe Tony White. Who knows how many of those guys will be there. So that they gave him a shot. The staff is everything. And a guy like Eric Bieniemy, he's not a very popular guy here unless you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan. Then the Chiefs fans in Nebraska still love the guy, but he's come back to haunt Nebraska more than once. No, he's very good. Obviously, yeah. I think UCLA, the team that is playing well and confident, and Nebraska did that early. I've said it all along. If they could only bottle that effort against Colorado, the atmosphere, just the way they came out playing, the energy, the intent, they weren't going to be denied that night, and they need to do that every game. And so I don't know where I am with the staff right now. I don't know where I am with the program, but I will say, yeah, it's still year two, and rules teams are always 6-6 or 7-5 or some kind of deal like that in year two. I think the difference is, and with all due respect to the Baylor program, which has had very good moments, it's won the Big 12. It's been the big bowls, but Nebraska's a different job, and I think Rule is finding that out this year. Certainly the first year, you got a pass. It was like, okay, yeah, nobody really expected. And then they won 5 games last year without a quarterback, basically. Without really, and now they have a great quarterback. And so, but I think he's learning about the intensity and the expectations of Nebraska fans, who, while they may be frustrated, they're still very loud and still care very much, and they always will care very much. There will never be apathy here, ever. It will, they will change coaches and ADs and everybody else over and over before there's apathy. So I think things are still fine, but they're not fine because Nebraska fans, while they want to build and they certainly understand that mentality, they also want to win bad. And while this is the second year for Rule here, it is not the second year for Nebraska fans. This is like the 10th year of not winning, or having these kind of disappointing games and not trusting the team or the coach, and it's been going on for a long time. So it's a different kind of rebuild, and that people are antsy, they're hungry, they want, and they're gonna they're gonna kind of lose it when the game like Saturday happens. So yeah, I just the thing I'm interested in is I think this coaching staff, certainly when they were 5-1 and they beat Rutgers, everything was certainly fine then. It was, these guys could coach then. The last 4 weeks have been a little different. So there's a lot of ups and downs. And we'll see what the last 3 games bring. But I think a lot of these guys, including Satterfield, to me, are here to help build a program. And it's like starting it's like a company sending in a team to open a new office in some city. And there's just certain people who know how to get things started. All these guys know what Matt Rule wants to do. They know the whole formula of how he wants to build. Now my question is, are these guys good enough to win in the Big Ten? They can build a program, and they're still bringing in recruits. By the way, they're still bringing in all these guys, but can they coach them? Can they get wins in the Big Ten? So that's what we have to find out, I guess, going forward.
Yeah, because I'll kind of wrap it back up into what I want to ask you next, but I think you hit the nail on the head there. Nebraska is one of those places when you're winning, it's awesome. It's getting roses every kind of day. People love you, but it might be one of the toughest programs when you're losing. And I think that's something that these coaches, well, they're kind of knowing it's going to be a tough place, but when you're losing games here at Nebraska, like you said, the fan base engagement is still high, sometimes even higher when you start to lose games because people are wondering what's going on. And you see that in the coaches that have been here through the past. They look, the way they age, just as their tenure as a head coach, you can almost see it. And I do wonder how the coach is going to respond to this, because I think what set a lot of fans off, and, even me, what just confused me, and because I took it, hook, bait, and switch, was the championship mindset has set in. If that was really the case, I wasn't expecting a team that I didn't think wasn't playing hard, but just failed to execute in the same fashion that UCLA was. Right off the gate, you kind of saw Nebraska stalling out on offense. The defense, you got the fans sitting on their hands for that first 8-minute drive there. And then eventually, I'll give defense credit. They shut down the hatches in the second half, but gave them a lot of life early on. Where are you with that championship mindset? And do you believe the coaches when, they say that they really thought this was the turning point? Because this is about 3-4 weeks in a row now where the coaches have said, or at least Matt Rule has been surprised by the end result.
Yeah, and that just shows that he doesn't really have a handle on this team this season, which that happens. You don't want to see it happen now. No, when he said the championship mindset thing, and at the time I heard that, I was not in Columbus. I was not there. I heard it on the radio show, but I wrote about this, and I really believe he was talking to his team. It was a moment where, okay, let's not think about how bad things are or what we can't do. Let's pump these guys up going forward. We just had a good game at Ohio State. Didn't finish it, didn't win, but there's still a lot to be taken out of this game. And I really felt like he saw in that game what they've been trying to coach all along, that to get these guys to do it on their own, to get for the light bulb to come on over their heads, that they need to do their job and not worry about anything else. Just do your job, and everything else will fall into place. And he saw that on a big stage. So I think he was reminding them, and I think he wasn't trying to blow smoke or anything, but he was telling them, hey, you guys did this. I recognize it. Now let's go do it again. You guys have this championship mindset. That's what it takes to win. And so I mean, he wasn't making predictions. Like he said, okay, now they got to go do it again next week. So it's yeah, I'm sure he was the most surprised guy in the stadium on Saturday. Not having seen that, and I mean, I know people don't want to hear this, but I mean, this is why we love college football. I mean, you never know what these kids are going to do, and but way back in the day, I'm not a '90s guy. I'm a '80s guy and a '70s guy, and I mean, back then, people in the Big Eight used to call Nebraska players robots. I mean, because they never showed emotion. They were like the Terminator. Every play was the same. They beat the hell out of you, and then they would go spike the ball on top of you after they won. And they were just ruthless, and that's how they won. They were so consistent that we called them boring, and so that's what they're after. That kind of thing where you do it all the time, and so this is I don't know. It's really an interesting time right now. I feel like they have the right head coach, a lot of the right staff. They've got to keep recruiting. Heck, Saturday, they had like one penalty or so. It was something like that, and the one turnover. I mean, they've been better with turnovers. There has been a lot of improvement this year, but it's just this weird dynamic with this team. They're just wired differently that you don't know what they're going to do, and I'm afraid that they don't know what they're going to do. So it's kind of like trying to hold on to a tornado or something. You don't know which direction it's going to do. You just kind of follow it, and that's So, but you'd like the coaching staff to be able to corral this and get it fixed. So I don't know. It's meanwhile, everybody's frustrated. Nobody wants to hear any excuses. Nobody wants to hear they want to hear explanations, but they only want to hear the right ones. It's just everybody's kind of mad. Everybody's down. It was a dreary, gloomy day, and these guys from LA. See, that was another thing. These guys come out of the chute. These guys, the Bruins, they're 2-5, and they're trash talking and taunting and getting unsportsmanlike penalties for doing stuff. And I mean, they came out of the gate on fire, and Nebraska didn't hardly show any emotion. It was just like, okay, shouldn't the team that was going for the bowl game be the one that was all fired up? I mean, so who knows?
Yeah, and that's, to me, I think what surprised a lot of the fan base too. You get a team out of UCLA who, I know they got the bye, but they just had to go all the way out to Rutgers. Whatever they did on that long flight to Rutgers, they captured some sort of energy. And whatever you think of Nebraska's record, how good they've been in the past, they're still one of those brand names. And you're going to catch teams coming into Memorial Stadium wanting to get a win over a blue blood, whether you think they fully deserve that title or not, recognized nationally. It's just games where I feel like it happens over and over again where, unfortunately, for whatever reason, that those opposing teams, they're not necessarily afraid of coming to Nebraska. They're more eager to try to go ahead and run away with the win here in Lincoln. And we just, didn't execute that day, and they ran away with it. We got one more segment here with Tom Shatel of the Omaha World Herald. Don't go anywhere. Like I said, one more segment. We'll talk to you in a little bit.
Across Nebraska, voters will have the chance to end the current government abortion ban. The government shouldn't be making decisions for families' health care, but right now they are. Ending the ban takes 2 votes. A vote against 434, the first initiative, and then a vote for 439, the last initiative. It's only this combination that will finally get the government out of the personal medical decisions of Nebraska families. Voting against 434 and for 439 ensures that when there's a medical emergency, it's Nebraska families who decide what to do, not the government. This vote against 434 and for 439 makes it so our Nebraska doctors can treat every patient. The government put this ban in place, stripping Nebraska families of their freedom, but you can end it with 2 votes. The first against 434, and then vote for 439. Paid for by Protect Our Rights.
Hi, I'm State Senator Bo Ballard. I was born and raised right here in Lancaster County. I understand the value of hard work by being involved in our family business. I built my own company, creating jobs right here in our community. Nebraska families and business owners need lower taxes, more affordable health care, and a great education system. That is why I fought for the largest tax cut in Nebraska history, reduce the cost of health care, and help pass the biggest investment in our public schools. I'm Senator Bo Ballard, and I humbly ask for your vote on November 5th. Paid for by Ballard for Nebraska.
Hi, this is Investigator Joe Villamonte with the Lincoln Police Union, asking you to vote for Carolyn Bosin for legislator. As a prosecutor, Carolyn Bosin has always supported law enforcement to keep our community safe. Carolyn Bosin has the experience we need. Carolyn Bosin is the only choice for legislator to keep our community safe. Join the law enforcement community in voting to keep our community safe. Vote Carolyn Bosin on November 5th.
Paid for by Bosin for legislature.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today. The Mill Coffee and Tea, formerly with only 4 Lincoln locations, now 5 Lincoln locations. That's 25% more locations than there used to be. Can you even imagine a world where there's only 4 Lincoln Mill locations? That feels like ages ago. We were all so young then. The Mill on 11th, located right alongside the 93.7 The Ticket Studios on O Street. Attention students and anyone else looking for a great deal. Sun Valley Lanes and Games has the ultimate weeknight special. For just $15.95, enjoy unlimited bowling, lucky putt mini golf, and laser tag. Flash your college ID at check-in to receive $2 off your admission. It's the perfect way to unwind Sunday through Thursday nights. Check out sunvalleylanes.com for hours and availability. Sun Valley Lanes and Games, located at 321 Victory Lane.
Lincoln's best place to meet, eat, and compete. Sun Valley.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Wellman Plumbing at 402-434-2400 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-434-2400.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
The Link Grill, Draft, and Crafts is your spot in Southeast Lincoln for great food and drink. They're serving new menu items and a killer craft cocktail menu with your favorite draft beers. You'll love their pizza and new entree options. It's a great place to watch any live events, and they have music bingo every month. They have an aggressive loyalty program that rewards fans with 7% back on all purchases. Home of the Nebraska Power Hour every night from 8 to 9 p.m. Order online at the lnkgrill.com or stop in at 84th and Highway 2 today.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
Back to The Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, wrapping things up here with Husker Football Hour with Tom Shatel of the Omaha World Herald. You guys can join in, use the Sartor Hamann text line, or catch the streams. As I said, we are wrapping things up here. Let's bring in Tom Shatel on the Allo VIP line. Tom, to wrap things up here, I do want to talk a little bit about comparison, because that has kind of been the argument for a lot of the Husker fan bases. If Indiana can do it, why can't Nebraska? And I understand Kurt Cignetti, you get some players from James Madison, a lot of you guys from a staff. What do you make of that when you do watch an Indiana team sitting at 9-0, even though that's not the norm, and Nebraska just haven't been able to get that same kind of success here in year two, now seeing Rule be 0-3 versus first-year head coaches?
Well, I've thought about this, and I'm not sure it's true across the board, but I look at some of the teams that have either beaten Nebraska or given them a hard time, and most of them had older quarterbacks. Illinois had a guy who'd been there 5 or 6 years, or had been playing college football, came from Ole Miss, Altmaier. Indiana has a guy that's been there and playing for a long time. He's smart, heady. Ohio State, older guy. UCLA, older guy. I mean, these guys are kind of fearless, and so Nebraska doesn't. I mean, certainly Dylan Randall is fearless, but he's got a lot to learn. So I think that has something to do with it. But Indiana, here's what I've told people, and I've been hearing that a lot. But I have a ready-made answer for them that they don't usually like. And that is, if you'd have gone back 2 years ago and Trev Alberts shows up at the press conference with this guy from James Madison, who was, before that was at Elon or whatever, Sholon or Elon or something. And he's a career coach. He's over 60 years old. He comes from James Madison. He's going to bring 27 transfers, and he's going to bring 9 of them from James Madison. His quarterback is going to come from Ohio U. If they had to wait all that out for Nebraska fans, they would have said in unison, "Are you nuts? You can't bring this guy here. James Madison coach Nebraska football? Are you out of your mind?" I mean, you remember what response Mike Riley got. I mean,
well, especially after Frost there as well, people would have definitely lost their marbles if that's the direction we would have chose.
Yeah, with all the transfers and all the stuff, there's no way. I mean, people would have just laughed and said, "Trev Alberts, you're out of your mind." You know what? But and look where he had to go, Indiana, right? Which doesn't have a great football tradition, and was just trying to find a coach. And they found a very smart. Now, this is someone that we talked about with Deion Sanders. If he wins, will more schools try to go this path? Well, I said that he beat him to it. I mean, Deion's winning, but this guy's really winning. He's going to go to the playoff. I mean, they're going to be in the playoff tomorrow night, first ranking. So all they got to do, if they beat Michigan, and even if they lose to Ohio State, I think they're still going to have a good chance to get in the playoff. So, I mean, think about it. So, yeah, it's a fair comparison, but I still Nebraska fans never would have. I mean, they had a Super Bowl coach in Bill Callahan, and they didn't like that, and they loved Pelini because he'd been here, they knew him, and but yeah, it's just there's no way people would have seen that and said, well, this is going to be incredible. They just said this is the stupidest hire ever. Trying to bring a James Madison guy, even though he's been with Saban, for trying to bring a James Madison coach here to be a head coach and try to recruit. So, and I don't know how Indiana's recruiting is going. All I know is the guy is like a mini Saban. He never smiles. He's up 40 and he's still pissed off, running around, scowling at people and, pounding his fists and demanding excellence. And, that part works. He's a good coach and that works. A good coaching works. Those guys don't have a problem showing up every game. They show up. And, Matt Rule said something very interesting today. Am I not hard enough on these guys? You can't worry about hurting their feelings, or they might transfer. They may, you got to build a program. And so these are very interesting things Rule was saying, almost like he doesn't know which buttons to push. And so this is a guy who's built programs, right? But all of a sudden in the middle of the build, he's not sure what this team needs. So I don't know if that's good news or bad news, but it's like, it's interesting though. It's like, okay, he's got a formula, but suddenly he's not sure what to do. So he's got a team that he is surprised by him, and that happens sometimes in college football. It's the boy Husker fans don't want it to happen anymore.
Yeah, and as we wrap things up there, I think it's a great analogy, just kind of sitting there, and he's done this before, but, I do always kind of go back. I just think it's one of those where you're performing, you're trying to build it back up, but there's so many eyes on this thing, even when you're dropping games where, if you want to go back to the Indiana comparison, I mean, they would have been happy just to go bowling. This is a program whose expectations were never near Nebraska's to start it, but there they are at 9-0, and yeah, I know this much. As long as he's there at Indiana, I think Indiana is going to be a thorn in the Big Ten for a while. Tom Shatel, appreciate the time, as always, on a Monday night. You guys can catch him every Monday night. Tom Shatel, where can they find you?
I'm on Twitter, but I'm not. I don't usually do much on Twitter, but they can find me at omaha.com. Of course. And and I'll be here every Monday night. And make no mistake, if they win another game and go to a bowl game, a lot of people are going to be very happy. So a season of mood swings will swing back the other way if they can just get one more.
Absolutely. Appreciate it as always. And
all right, sir.
Have a good night. Like I said, you can catch him every Monday here on Ticket Weeknights. Tom Shatel, the Husker Football Hour. He always does a great job breaking it down, giving his thoughts. And like he said, check him out. He has great articles for the Omaha World, or great columns, I should say. Appreciate you guys listening. 402-464-5685. You can continue to chime in. DeMornay Pearsonell, the former Husker, up next.